You're prepping for a job interview in English.
Yeah, it can be pretty daunting.
Definitely. We've been looking into what really works in these interviews and, well, we want to cut straight to the chase. How to handle those common questions. Feel confident.
Exactly. We're aiming for practical tips here, things you can actually use, not just like textbook answers. It's about understanding what the interviewer is really asking.
Right. Getting inside their head a bit.
So you can make the best impression possible. We're going to focus on 4 questions you're almost guaranteed to hear.
Okay, let's listen. We've got, tell me about yourself.
Mm.
Then, what are your strengths?
Yep. And the dreaded, what are your weaknesses?
Oh, yeah, that one. And finally, why do you want to work here? So let's tackle that first one. Tell me about yourself. Sounds simple, maybe too simple.
It does, but it's your first real chance to frame yourself. The key is keep it brief and super relevant.
So, not my life story.
Definitely not. Start with a quick professional summary, maybe your current role or key experience. Then pivot fast to skills that match this job.
Okay. We found a pretty solid example in our research. I'm an experienced customer service assistant with over 3 years in the retail industry. I love helping people and solving problems quickly. Why does that work so well?
Well, it's direct, isn't it, in, 2 sentences? You know their experience level, the industry, and key skills helping people, solving problems. It immediately shows potential value.
Got it. Concise and relevant. Okay, next. What are your strengths?
It's tempting to just rattle off a list, right? Like, I'm hardworking, creative, a team player.
Uh-huh. But that doesn't really land. Anyone can say those things. You need proof. Examples, real-world situations where you actually use that strength.
Right. So show, don't just tell.
Exactly. It makes it believable. It shows the interviewer how you operate, not just what you claim to be.
Okay, the example we looked at was, one of my strengths is communication. I'm good at listening and explaining clearly, especially in fast-paced environments. What's the edge here? It's the specifics, not just communication, but how listening, explaining clearly, and where fast-paced environments. It paints a much clearer picture for the interviewer. They can imagine you doing that.
Makes sense. Okay, brace ourselves. What are your weaknesses? This one trips people up. Honesty, but also self-awareness and improvement. It's a tricky balance.
It really is. You do need to be honest. Pick a genuine minor weakness, something real. But the crucial part is showing you know it's a weakness and you're like actively working on it.
So don't say my weakness is I work too hard.
Please don't.
Yeah,
Avoid cliches and definitely don't mention anything core to the job function.
good point. Okay, the example. Sometimes I focus too much on small details, but I've learned to manage my time getting to stay on track. Why is that a good way to handle it?
Well, it acknowledges a real thing, getting bogged down in details. Lots of people relate to that. But then it immediately shows self-awareness. I know I do this. And crucially, a concrete step taken. I've learned to manage my time better. It shifts from a negative to demonstrating proactivity, growth.
Right. Turns it into a subtle strength, almost showing you can adapt.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. Why do you want to work here? Our sources stressed showing genuine interest, researching the company. Why is that so vital?
Because it shows you care about this specific opportunity. You're not just blasting resumes everywhere.
Okay.
Mentioning something specific, their values, a recent project, their company culture, proves you've, done your homework. It suggests you actually see a fit, a reason to be there beyond just needing a job.
So the example was, I really admire your company's focus on innovation and customer satisfaction. I'd love to be part of that team. What's strong about that?
It directly links the candidate's admiration to specific company pillars, innovation, customer satisfaction. It shows alignment. And that phrase, I'd love to be part of that team, it conveys real enthusiasm.
Got it. So wrapping up these 4 big questions, the strategy seems to be relevance, using examples for strengths, framing weaknesses around growth, and showing genuine researched interest in the company.
That's pretty much it. Keep it concise, keep it specific, keep it focused on them. And remember, these are just starting points, right? Framework.
Yeah, you need to make them your own.
Absolutely.
Oh, boy.
Tailor everything to your background, your experiences, and the specific role you're going for.
Okay, so here's something for you, the listener, to chew on. Think about your own story, your actual strengths, and, yes, weaknesses. How can you take these approaches we discussed and genuinely apply them? How do you make your answer to why here sound authentic and compelling for the places you want to work?
That personalization, that's what makes the difference.
That's the homework. Getting that right is really how you stand out.